Hello guys, we are back for another video. Wanted to give you guys an update, and this is probably the last update I will be giving you with regards to Carlee Russell. So it has been updated about an hour. What time is it? Maybe about an hour and a half ago, or an hour maybe. Carlee Russell has admitted to the Hoover police that she lied. I mean, that is what we thought the whole, well, not the whole time. So she has basically come out and just confessed to making the whole story up. So we don't know what is next for her. We don't know if there's going to be charges. But apparently she has come out and she has asked for forgiveness, which includes, the community, with regards to that entire situation. So I'm going to go ahead and get that clip out so you guys can see yourself, and then we'll come back for the commentary. But she has basically admitted to everything that we pretty much figured was not true, just for the inconsistencies in stories and everything else that's been shared. So let me get that video and then we'll come back for commentary.
This particular case, the sad thing is that again, there were so many people that were involved, took this thing very, very seriously, and again, we wanted the focus to be bringing her home. She got home. We're very excited about that. It is what it is. The facts, I think, last Wednesday pretty much showed that we knew that it was a hoax.
Lisa Crane with WDTM 13. Do you know the expense you went to during this search? And if you don't have a dollar figure for us, just how big it was for you guys?
Well, it was all hands on deck, and we don't have a dollar figure yet, but we're certainly working towards getting one, and not only ours, but there'll be other agencies that had a lot of support that they gave us and had monetary expenses themselves.
Jonathan, with JLR investigates, are the parents under an investigation?
As I said the other day, we were going to try to determine exactly those 49 hours. So right now, anything's on the table. We still don't know what happened in those 49 hours, where she was, did she have any help? We have no idea. I read the statement from Mr. Anthony, that's all we know.
Right. Keith Mims, WAGG 16 Summit Media. Chief, let me ask you this. What do you think prompted or provoked Carlee to do this kind of thing? And are there any kind of mental issues that the police department or the public should be concerned about, or just what?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it's this is a very elaborate. This was an elaborate deal. I mean, when you talk about calling a 911 and being up on the interstate, again, it would all be conjecture. So really, I don't know. I was hoping that we'd have an opportunity to interview and we'd be able to ask her those questions.
Were any others involved in putting this story together for her?
Mr. Anthony, in his statement, says there was not.
Liviana Calmes, WVRC, Fox 6 News. You said that you had a meeting scheduled and it kind of switched into a statement. Did they give any type of reason that switched?
No, they did not.
Back here.
Aaron Llewellyn, WBTM 13. Just for clarification, Carlee Russell is not in custody right now.
That is correct. That is correct.
Last question with David.
David Lamb once again. So first of all, when did you actually see this letter? And second of all, do these admissions and the content of the letter alter the investigation at all?
No, not at all. We'll continue to investigate. We're going to still try to determine where she was during those 49 hours. But I am glad that we received this. It at least puts some of the social media super sleuths hopefully at rest for a little bit as far as the conjecture of what everybody thinks took place. We know that by her own admission, it didn't happen, and we're thankful for that.
All right, thank you guys very much.
You just heard from Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis in the Carlee Russell case of her disappearance and reappearance. Apparently, she was to meet with the Hoover Police Department, but then the Hoover Police Department got a statement from the attorney.
They did, and just really quickly with that statement, as he just mentioned, that she admitted that there was not a kidnapping. We do have ABC 3340 Stephen Quinn there at the scene right now. And Stephen, walk us through what we just learned.
Certainly the news that the police had suggested could have been the case last week when they put forth a lot of information that raised questions about some of the claims that had been made by Carlee Russell. But as we saw there, this is our first chance getting to hear from Carlee Russell, at least through a statement made by local attorney Emery Anthony, saying that she admitted that this was made up. Not just the kidnapping, but the abduction that she said led to her stopping on the side of the interstate. And she also asked for forgiveness from the public, a public that had become enthralled in this case, right? The details were so salacious. The idea of a child on the side of I-459 and that she'd been abducted trying to help a child, a good Samaritan. And as we now know, this case was made up. All of the details were. And this certainly is where it appeared to be heading, again, given what we had learned on Wednesday. The chief said that they had asked for a second interview. It appeared for a moment that was going to happen with counsel, local attorney Emery Anthony, but it did not. And then we were given, or rather police were given, the statement that they just read, essentially blowing this whole thing up. A story that had gained national attention in this case. It should also point out, though, that now the question, of course, comes as to whether or not Carlee Russell could face criminal charges for those fabricated claims. And you heard the chief mention that that is something that they are discussing now with local authorities on that case. That will be something that will revolve around a conversation with not just police, but with the district attorney's office about whether or not charges would be involved and the severity or significance of those charges. It's also worth pointing out, there's been so much speculation in this case, but Carlee Russell's statement, she makes the claim that she acted alone. Her family has been front and center in so much of this, right? Going on the Today Show, making public comments, and then falling silent, the entire family for that matter, after Wednesday's press conference. And now we are hearing from Carlee Russell again saying that this was made up. Certainly tough news, but it is a resolution in this case. Muriel and Brenda.
All right, Stephen Quinn reporting live from Hoover. Thank you for that, Stephen. And we are going to keep you updated online and on the air on the very latest on this case.
Okay, guys, so we are back to talk about this foolery. So let me just recap a little bit for some of the people who may not have watched my earlier videos. If you have not watched my earlier videos, please go back and watch those so that you know more about this Carlee Russell story. So basically, Carlee Russell admitted to lying. She admitted to lying about being abducted. She admitted to lying about the toddler being in distress. It looks like what was supposed to take place today was that the Hoover Police Department was going to meet with Carlee and she was going to give them a statement. If you guys have been following this story, or if you have followed any of it from on my YouTube page, the Hoover Police has been trying to get a statement from Carlee for some time now, and she has not been able to do that. So today, they thought that was going to happen. But what ended up happening was her attorney, and that was the chief of the police who you guys saw giving the press conference. They thought that she was going to appear in person. However, her attorney did contact them and did provide them that statement. So let me just give you guys a little quick recap. So Carlee Russell, she is that 25-year-old from Alabama. She told the police she was kidnapped after stopping to help a toddler in diapers who was walking alone on Interstate 459 on the evening of July 13th. July 13th. She ended up being gone for 49 hours total. And she said she was abducted. Her family, for some reason, had stuck by her story. even after police had pretty much said that the story sounded fake. They didn't come out and say the story was fake, but if you guys go back and watch some of the story that I updated you with, I'm sorry, on my YouTube channel, they didn't actually come out and say she was lying, but they said that they were not looking for anyone and that they didn't get any reports about any toddler alongside the interstate. So let's just go over the statement. The statement in part read, "There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road." And just to recap, you guys, Crime Stoppers received donations in the amount of $63,000 to help find Carlee Russell. So, actually, what they're saying is, although that is pretty much what they asked for, it looks like they received more than $63,000. So, I don't know what they're going to do with that money. But it looks like Crime Stoppers is asking for that money to be returned. Oh, wow. So there was a lot of energy that went into this case. I know when I first, saw it, I was like, wow, I hadn't really updated you guys. So I was like, let me, update the public with regards to this story. And I kind of feel stupid because I'm like, I wasted my time. There was other people that we could have been reporting about, but we kind of wasted our time. With regards to what is in the future for Carlee. If you guys heard in the press conference, the chief did say that they did not have the accurate amount of how much they had spent out, but he did indicate that they had spent a lot of money. However, he did not know the exact amount. And then they had help for from other departments and other agencies, and that also came with the bill. So when you hear the chief of police saying they don't know the exact amount, but they're working on figuring out what it is, that means only one thing. And, I don't like this for her, and I really hate that it came to this, but I believe she is definitely going to see some kind of criminal charges. But before they move forward with any type of criminal charges, they need to know what they actually spent. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Carlee Russell. I don't know what came over her that would force her to do something so stupid. But when I hear that they are calculating the charges, it can only mean one thing. The other thing that I was, raised my eyebrow to is when the other reporter said that her parents went on the Today Show and gave a statement. Then he stated that shortly after the police came out with the first press conference, he stated that the parents just went silent. Well, let me tell you this. As a parent, it is not our job to go, ratting our kids out. So if I was in that situation, I don't know what I would do. I would think as a parent that they were so confused and trying to figure out how they can, best protect their daughter. At the end of the day, that is their daughter. Like us in the public, we're like, this is crazy. Why did she do this? But at the end of the day, a parent's job is quite different than ours. So there was also a statement saying, will the parents be charged? Well, listen, I mean, I hope not, unless the parents actually aided in abetting hiding her and knew about it. But the fact that, if, we know the daughter not lied, well, she lied, but can the parents be charged? Again, I don't know what their involvement is, but unless they actually played a part in her being kidnapped and help hide her, I don't think the parents should be charged. So I don't know. I'll be letting you guys know what comes next. I would imagine the next thing will be some kind of charges. If she's not charged, I would imagine, they will make her do some kind of community service. She's going to have to do something because I believe if some kind of consequence is not provided to her, that we may see this again, you know. So I think there definitely needs to be some kind of consequence. I don't know what it is. I don't know what her mental state is. And I hear a lot of people saying, you know, I'm sick of every time somebody does something that they bring up mental health. And I totally agree. But at the end of the day, we don't know what her mental state was. We don't. I mean, is she the kind of person that just make up stuff like this? At the end of the day, if she something could be, definitely could be wrong with her, and then someone can say, well, she's never had any past mental health, you know, issues. Well, that doesn't mean that she didn't have one that day. And honestly, somebody that does something like this, unless they have a, you know, criminal record of doing this type of thing, something wrong with this girl. Like, something is clearly wrong with her. I mean, just because a person looks normal, they're acting normal, they're functioning normal, does not mean that they do not have some sort of a mental illness. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if anything else comes up, I will be sure to keep you all in the loop. I will see you in the next video.